Yeah, family, time to start the show. What's up, family? Now, as y'all know, I've done topics in the past such as women who fuck on the first date, parts 1 and parts 2, and also the other woman. And some of the feedback I've actually received from some of my female subscribers addresses the issues of the male whore versus the female whore. A few women who have actually commented or sent me letters or emails have actually been frustrated with the fact that the label of whore isn't equally shared by men and women if both engage in sex in the first night. So I actually want to do an episode on the male whore versus the female whore and give you guys a breakdown of why ultimately it doesn't matter if the male is a hoe or not. Okay, so first let's start with answering the basic question. Who is the bigger whore, the man or the woman? Now, before we can fairly answer this question, let's first define what the word whore means. Now, in the Great American Dictionary, a whore is defined as a prostitute. And a prostitute is defined as one who solicits and accepts payments for sexual intercourse. It also goes on to state that a prostitute can also be defined as one who sells himself or herself for an unworthy cause. Okay, now while those are great technical definitions of what a whore and prostitute is, let's redefine that definition and simplify it in our own language. A whore is someone who sleeps around. No money, no payments, none of that. Just somebody who is extra sexually promiscuous. That's how we'll define the term whore. Now, based on our technical definition and our redefined definition of the term whore, there is no question in my mind that there is no bigger whore that exists on the planet than the male. And the reason why I say that is because men will truly sleep with anything. Doesn't make a difference. For the most part, and again, let me stress that, for the most part, a man is not as choosy from a mental perspective for his sexual partners as a woman may be. Again, now if you've seen Women Who Fuck on the First Date Part 1, a man doesn't require conversation to know in his mind that he's going to sleep with you. Now, yes, there are some men out there that do. Let's just push those ones aside for a second and deal with the heart and the nature of most men and those who are fiercely driven by their sex drive. Those particular types of men cannot be out-whored by any woman unless she is in fact the technical definition of a prostitute. But without her being in that esteemed and very much appreciated line of business, a woman will rarely out-whore a man. No, wait. Time out. Did I just call prostitution an esteemed line of business? I'm sorry. So now I hope that answers and confirms for those who need confirmation that the male is as guilty as being a hoe as the female is if they engage in sex on the first night. But now let's get to the real issue. The reality is, ladies, that it doesn't make a difference if the man is just as much as a hoe as you are. And that's for two distinct and particular reasons. Now, to understand the reasoning why it does not make a difference if the man is a bigger hoe or just as much as a hoe as the woman, while engaging in the same activities, you have to understand the different sexual roles we play as men and women. These roles can be simply defined as selective versus selector. Now pay attention, my beautiful queens, because I'm really trying to learn you something right here. It's important. In any sexual relationship, the woman is the selectee and the man is the selector. A man does not choose who he wants to have sex with. Ultimately, what a man truly does is he makes a choice on who he would like to have sex with. But it is the woman who allows for that to happen. Now, to get an understanding of this, you can simply look at nature. Now, remember, man is not too far from animal. And I think we have a lot of different scenarios in society that kind of justify and prove that statement to be true. But let's look at mating season in the animal kingdom. Now, let's say you have a lion. When mating season comes around, if you've ever watched the Discovery Channel, the lion or lions basically are fighting to show who is the bigger, tougher, and stronger lion to the female lioness. And it is after observation from the female lioness that she makes the choice on who's going to get to tap that ass. So my point is, the same thing applies with human beings. As men, we throw out dick offerings all day. That's what we do. You see you walking down the street, and all we saying is, pick me, nigga, pick me. And we wait. And if we are what you're looking for, your selection process of who's going to get to enter your thigh waist to heaven, thank you, Jesus, begins. So now, why is that animal kingdom reference so important? It's important because if a woman who is not naturally as sexually promiscuous as a man becomes as promiscuous as men, then the scrutiny of her actions and the responsibility she bears will be judged more harshly, because in her natural makeup, she wasn't designed to be. Now, anyone can define why that is, but you know what? I'm going to leave that to say that's above my understanding. But what I do know to be an absolute fact is that for the majority of women watching this, for any woman that wants to sleep with me has to go through a get to know me process and has to evaluate me and has to make sure that I'm the right dude to enter those thighways. But that's what she really has to do. She has to 100% evaluate me. She has to 100% feel secure within herself that I am worthy of entering inside of her. And it is only when I have proven my worthiness, whether that be by my status, whether that be by my conversation, whether that be by my body, whatever it is that justifies it to her, once I have established that, then and only then, for the most part, will she go ahead and let me in. So while it is not fair to women that in an amazing twist, the title of whore is labeled stronger against you based on the theory of the selective versus selector process, it makes sense. Now, what I will do for those of you who are struggling with that theory or struggling with that scenario, I will provide a better one for you that has nothing to do with society and has everything to do with you. Now, this is an example I used to one of my subscribers who asked me the same question, and I corresponded with her in email. So now you're going to hear this in video format. Let's say you're a parent of two twin 15-year-old children, one boy, one girl. And on the same day, you happen to find out that both of your children at the age of 15 have engaged in sex and have both lost their virginity. Now I ask you, as a woman, as a mother, as a parent, who are you more disappointed in? Who are you a little bit more angry at? Now listen, the reality is the majority, 90 to 99%, and the 90 is a very soft low end number, of women are going to scrutinize and be harsher on the daughter. If you disagree, or if you are one of those women who are so strong to make the case that men are just as much hoes as women are, then why is it that you will judge your daughter more harshly than you will do your son if they engage at the same sexual activities at the mere age of 15? And now remember, your judgment has nothing to do with society, because there's no one in society that's forcing you to scold your daughter. I mean, who knows but you and her? So if it is not a woman's obligation to be more sexually responsible from the time she is in her youth, then whose is it? Now also remember, this argument isn't designed to say that the man bears no sexual responsibility. It's simply designed to explain why the female should be and ultimately has to be more sexually responsible than the male. Get it? Got it? Good. 2 fingers, y'all.